instead they give stress to following one's prescribed duties. So obviously karma mimamsa it's much weaker than Vedic it's not really in the Vedic tradition. It's a bit of a deviation from through Vedic philosophy. In Srila Prabhupada's purport, it's basically a dismissal of karma and answer. The key sentence in his purport is, those who arrive at this conclusion are foolish, which leads back to the verse in which people stress that one, a foolish senseless person, which is the very start of the verse, and two, this is not proper understanding. That comes after the sort of the section that's really indicates that the karma answer is being indicated here. According to one's previous fruitive actions, one's material body is created by the father and mother, and the same body is annihilated by another agent. There's no animal is divided by a tiger. So, like I said, that's karma mimamsa philosophy. It's basically it's a little bit less in the Vedic tradition. So, also note in the purport that Srila Prabhupada quotes Bhagavatam 15:15. So, those who study Srila Prabhupada's teachings tell us that this was Prabhupada's most used verse in the Bhagavad Gita. But here he only quotes the first half of the verse. The full verse is Savasi Chaham Hiridesh and Aviso Matusmiti Dana Chesai Aham Evo Veja Vedantically Chaham. The full translation to the verse is I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. I will obey as I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta. I am the knower of the Vedas. So, Prabhupada, he explains like this little explanation of what the Bhagavad Gita verse 15:15 really indicates. And that is that unless one receives dictation from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who sits within everyone's heart, one cannot be induced to create anything. So, Krishna is a soul that is seated within everyone's heart. And where it says that from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness, that's generally knowledge because our minds. So I'll take a little talk for questions and answers. When we ask questions but don't find out the answers, we have to keep searching. And to illustrate that, I was going to talk about some of my life experiences. As I noticed, the next verse of the Bhagavad Gita, 15:16, is a good illustration of the principles that I was going to discuss. So 15:16, it says that the truth is infallible and infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible. In the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. So when I was young, I used to find answers in the music that I listened to. I used to sort of listen to the lyrics. This next lyric is generally criticised as being a sort of profound music from the 60s. The lyric goes, "You don't need the weatherman to know which way the wind blows." So that was sort of a really famous lyric when I was growing up. So my point about this lyric is, okay, so you don't need the weatherman to know which way the wind blows, which is, it's fair enough. But what helped is this looking at questions. So generally sort of come to Krishna consciousness, sort of life questions, sort of on the sort of mundane level, the sort of asking what cheese should we wear tonight, shall I go to such and such program with friends, what we're going to do on Friday night. But after a while, we sort of noticed that these questions were sort of, we don't tackle the real underlying questions that everybody has in their minds and their hearts. Sort of, where am I from? What's my real identity? Where did I come from? What happens when we die? So the second thing that I'd like to bring to this discussion, which is sort of indicative of the music that I listened to when I was growing up, it's a rock album, well-known English rock band. Well, this LP tells a story of a sort of a mod in 60s London, and he's about to go through a crisis in his life. Because everything that he's worked so hard to build up to support his modern lifestyle suddenly gets taken away from him. And so at the end of the LP, he's sort of left there, he's sort of stripped of all the trappings that he had in the material world. And he's going to be sort of, where do I go now? What's your destiny? So my point is that this sort of the music on this LP, it doesn't really answer life questions. So I've tried to sort of figure out what it should be. And so what I've come up with is, well, of course, the first point that makes these sort of these famous rock musicians and just about everybody else in the material world, we're all being deluded by Maya. So what is this Maya? So Maya is essentially illusion, the absence of a relationship with Krishna. And the second point that I'd like to, so perhaps it's not surprising that this Maya, it's there and it's taken away the sort of the sort of mentality that leads one to ask these deeper questions. So perhaps it's not surprising to find that Maya is sort of leading to like an understanding of life's deeper questions. But the second point I'd like to make is that perhaps it's surprising that this LP doesn't answer many of life's questions, because the guitarist and composer of this group, he took shelter at a guru, but this guru wasn't in the Vaishnava tradition. So I'd like to discuss the sort of the position of his guru a little bit. So the first one I'd like to raise is that how much this guru would have been venerated according to our tradition. For example, first said he was the avatar, a god in human form of our age. So according to our understanding of the position of the guru, that's a big mistake. Because according to Srila Prabhupada's teaching, straight away we're on slightly suspect territory, because he don't proclaim himself to be God unless he can lift over downhill with the little finger of your left hand and keep suspended there for 7 days.
Yeah.
Now, actually, as fate would have it, while I was researching this presentation last night, I did come across quite a long article of appreciation of this guru's work by the musician in question. So I won't dwell on what other people might see in this particular guru, just to sort of say that, perhaps it is, it will be a mistake to sort of dismiss his contribution to sort of other people's lives out of hand. But I'd just like to point out that you shouldn't really proclaim yourself to be an avatar, a god for our times, unless you can perform some of the activities that God performs. And for someone who's not God, that's out of the question. So, actually, this LP, obviously a lot of work went into it. It was, very lavishly packaged and, a double LP and everything. But there's also the point that I'd like to introduce here. In the back of our Gita 7:15, it tells us about the 4 kinds of men who don't take to devotional service. First of which are the Mudas. were grossly foolish. They worked dangerously hard for no actual result. And it seems to me that this is what I'm reminded of when I think about SLP, the position of a Buddha in the world. So that the Buddhas, they're sort of compared to us as donkeys. An ass or a donkey, it carries very hard loads all days, but it's satisfied with just a handful of grass and somewhere to sleep. So I'd like to conclude this presentation here by saying that, so I must once again thank the Bhagavad Gita for showing me what's right from what's wrong and for answering my questions. So obviously we've got Arjun's in the document, which is sort of so full of the spiritual culture that we try to imbibe. We have those who we should be thankful for the Bhagavatam from them. Also, we should be thankful for the Bhagavad Gita, because time and time again it starts with the questions from when I was just beginning Krishna consciousness to the time that I'm at in the present. I just started reading the Bhagavad Gita recently, and this time that I noticed that I was getting a much better understanding of the first chapter, because I read the Mahabharata before I reread the Bhagavad Gita. I used to find the first chapter slightly confusing, but now we read the Mahabharata, I can find I can relate to the first chapter much better. So I think it's true that it must be true that every time you reread the Bhagavad Gita, you find there's a new depth and there's more that you can pick up on it. So I'm going to throw the sort of discussion open now. If anyone's got any questions or anybody can provide any Bhagavad Gita realizations, I'll be grateful to receive them and hear them. So thank you for your time and patience.
Prabhu, do you think that this example of the music you were listening to, can Krishna speak through these sort of non-devotees, or to give some realization of anything they're saying somewhat false?
Well, I think on my experience of being close to the music in this LP for years, I have to say false. So to me, it was slightly amazing that the musician was behind himself and he took shelter of the room. And obviously I had a deep relationship with him. In the end, I have to, some of the LP was not asking so many advice questions in the Bhagavad Gita. What I'm trying to point out here is that, the Bhagavad Gita is it's a really invaluable tool for self-realization. Without distributing it on the streets today, we can sort of carry it with pride and without having no qualms about passing it on to people.
What about some people who, most people, I know myself, when I first read Bhagavad Gita, you don't have much realization. You say it takes many times and devotee association and other purifications so you can begin to understand it. So how to know that what we're doing by giving out Prabhupada's books is the best thing that we could be doing?
Well, I guess at the very least it's a little step on the path, isn't it? Really, it's just like the first step. But I suspect that many Bhagavad Gitas will be left and read on people's shelves, but they say that the books we pass out sort of go through 5 hands. And the fifth person to get the book in can be the person who pulls it out of the bookshelf and on a rainy Sunday afternoon when there's nothing else to do, and you can actually go through the book on a little deeper and get a bit more understanding from it. But I'd say there's a great opportunity to be left. It's not been taken for sort of like a massive understanding of the Bhagavad Gita. It's sort of like on Radio 4, for example. They could have a half hour slot on what does the Bhagavad Gita mean. it can't be really useful because after all we pass out, I don't know how many copies of Bhagavad Gita in the UK since we started book distribution. But, in that time, Krishna consciousness is really growing in popularity. Today it's definitely becoming a mass movement, isn't it really? It's a movement that's wholly for good. Nobody can dismiss some of the things we stand for, can we? Nobody can dismiss the philosophy so easily. Plenty of people have tried, but we've found that when Srila Prabhupada was pregnant on it, he was able to sort of take the people in one-to-one discussion and really sort of impressing that we aren't the body, we are the soul. That sort of that basic understanding is a shame that it's not taken up. Sort of on TV or on the radio, should be like a little slot dedicated to how to understand the Bhagavad Gita better. That's my opinion, definitely. Has anybody got any more Bhagavad Gita realizations of that? Just share.
Share a comparison between a bonafide people and so I'm just reading last night actually. So Prabhupada was in his last days on the planet. And the Lord said, Prabhupada, you've got all this powers at your disposal. Why don't you keep yourself better again? And he said, I could do that, but that's just fanaticism. So you don't have this body. He said, that is not my magic. But my magic in serving Krishna, someone who you've never met, that's my magic. He said, in your hearts, you love Krishna. So that was a clear difference. If the spiritual master can bring you to the path and give you all the directions you need to get to the end of that path, achieve Krishna Prema, and that's comparison between one thing doing and
Would you like to share anything?
I guess I can say, when reading Srila Prabhupada's books of Bhagavad Gita, then it can always come like we hear the right message at the right time. It's something really mystical and it gives you a lot of faith in the process. That's happened a couple of times to me. It's very nice. And it makes you able to, like it gives you the faith to be able to put it into action, because there's one thing to read something and to understand it, but then to actually put it into practice is a different question. So when you're getting these clear signs, and that's really nice.
so something reading Bhagavad Gita and getting fresh realizations because Krishna's was a number of Krishna, so you never fully understand Krishna, which means because Krishna is now yoga, you can tell youthful, which also means you get refresh, and you get fresh and fresh understandings of Bhagavad Gita with the visit to reality and so get fresh understandings. It's not that we don't understand it, it's sometimes we understand it and understand more. So it's something that's a bit that you can read into the time. And certainly Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is, many people read the time of Bhagavad Gita or something like that one, but it doesn't change their lives. And they don't get the time again and they'll read it so in the kind of Srila Prabhupada's certainly different.
I was reading yesterday, chapter 14, just a couple of verses, the divisions of faith, the modes of material nature. And when it's describing And then later that day, when they're out in the street, you can just see how descriptions that are given of people within the Bhagavad Gita are just you see how people are acting in complete accordance with it. Even though this is, scripture that is written, well, it's, in some sense, it's eternal, but it was spoken, 5,000 years ago, and so much of mundane literature, like even in the scientific world, if something's written 5 years ago, then it's irrelevant now. Whereas the Bhagavad Gita is completely accurate in its descriptions of how people function. So I sort of was thinking, well, if I could actually begin to have more sort of realization of these teachings of like how the modes of material nature work, then it would benefit book distribution, because you'll be able to understand how people's mentality is better, so you'll be able to present the books in a way that's going to be more attractive to them. Because some people, if you say, oh, it's about philosophy, some people would just turn a mile, whereas other people are really attracted by that. So how you can assess people, and Prabhupada was really, really expert at, he knew exactly how to present the message, and probably he'd realised these teachings from the Bhagavad Gita of how the modes are working. And, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always amazed by verse 7:15 when he talks about beforehand people who are taking Krishna consciousness. It's actually so true. It's always been true, and always will be, I think, true. And you can see it very clearly, but it's people whose logic is taking any type of losing energy. Nowadays, it's cause of scientists and people who just sort of come to organize and sort of stuff that can easily dismiss. And yet they don't see that they're sort of laboring in vain. Not all the time, the movies are sort of working themselves into the ground for just a fraction of what we put down in the Krishna. We're able to have much Krishna. Yeah, so, what we actually came out was our labor in anything. But it's, say you go to somewhere like really sort of places like a designer mall, and you see all the people, going to the shops, and all the goods are so priced so highly, all getting from all the money for the same one, and this sort of the lifestyle that things can be so helpful for them. Because these material things is always giving snacks in them. Usually that offer the spiritual sort of thing. You don't know how to get to it.
I'm just wondering, I have some small realization. There's 4 types of people who don't take to Krishna consciousness: the Buddhas, the fools, then the lowest of mankind, and those whose knowledge is stolen by illusory energy, and those of a demoniac nature, or demoniac mentality. But if you could explain the lowest of mankind, what is it? I don't quite know who this is referring to. I've never really met someone and thought, they're the lowest of mankind.
Well, I've got the Bhagavad Gita here, so I'll give you a little bit from the Prabhu, if that's okay. So, another class of difficulty on this screen is called the Nadadharma, or lowest of mankind. Nada means human being, and Dharma means the lowest. Out of the 8,400,000 different species of living beings, there are 400,000 human species. Out of these, there are numerous lower forms of human life, which are mostly uncivilized. The civilized human beings are those who have relative principles of social, political, and religious life. Those who are socially and politically developed which have no religious principles, must be considered Nayadharmas. Nor is religion without God religion, because the purpose of following religious principles is to know the supreme truth and man's relation with Him. In the Gita, the personality of Godhead clearly states that there is no authority above Him, and that He is the supreme truth. The civilized form of human life is meant for man's reviving lost consciousness of his eternal relation with the supreme truth, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who is all-powerful. Whoever loses his chance is classified as a Nayadharma. We get information from revealed scriptures that when the baby is in the mother's womb, in extremely uncomfortable situation, he prays to God for deliverance and promises to worship Him alone as soon as he gets out. To pray to God when he is in difficulty is a natural instinct in every living being, because he is eternally related with God. But after his deliverance, the child forgets the difficulties of birth and forgets his deliverer. Also, being influenced by Maya, the illusory energy. It is the duty of the guardians of children to revive the divine consciousness dormant in them. 10 processes of reformatory ceremonies, as enjoyed in the Manusmriti, which is a guide to religious principles, are meant for reviving God consciousness in the system of Varnashram. However, no process is strictly followed now in any part of the world. And therefore, 99.9% of the population is Nayadharma. When the whole population becomes Nayadharma, naturally all their so-called education is made null and void by the all-powerful energy of physical nature. According to the standard of the Gita, the learned man is he received on equal terms the learned Brahmana, the dog, the cow, the elephant, and the dog eater. That is the vision of the true devotee. Sri Jayananda Prahbu, who was the incarnation of Godhead as divine master, delivered the typical Nayadharmas, the brothers Jagai and Madai, and showed how the mercy of the real devotee is bestowed upon the lowest of mankind. So the Nayadharma, who was condemned by the personality of Godhead, can again revive its spiritual consciousness only by the mercy of the devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in propagating the Bhagavatam Dharma or activities of the devotees, has recommended that people submissively hear the message of the personality of Godhead. The essence of this message is Bhagavad Gita. The lowest amongst human beings can be delivered by this submissive hearing process only, but unfortunately they even refuse to give an oral reception to these messages, and what to speak of surrendering to the will of the Supreme Lord. Nayadharmas, or the lowest of mankind, willfully neglect the prime duty of the human being.
I don't think I've ever read that before.
So we finish the class now, because this class has gone over time. So. Shri Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Yeah.
Shri Sri Bhagavatam ki jai.
Yeah.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.